What's going on, y'all? I wanted to take a quick minute to bring you inside the life of an active trade. Currently trading MES and taking a look at, taking a look at trading in my prop firm account to try to go ahead and pass this thing. And so I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what's currently taking place. I jumped in. The market is currently pushing downward. So as a result of that, taking shorts, that's the only thing I was looking for as a part of my entries today. And so right now the we are at the lunch hour, so time is kind of grinding down. But I entered, as you can see on the screen here, I entered right after we typically accepted outside of the gray zone that I typically try to trade through. And so to be, fully transparent, I did take a trade from the top of that gray zone to the bottom of that gray zone, and then also saw we were, kind of transitioning out of that gray zone and got some acceptance. And I'll talk about that. That's more of an advanced concept. It's more of an advanced concept when you're looking at managing trades. And as a result, we saw some acceptance outside of the gray zone. And so once we got there, I entered into a short right here at 69.41.25, and now we are continuing to push down and taking a look at reaching some of these lower targets that I have identified. Wanted to once again allow you to see, these zones, they do matter. They do have value, and it's up to you, to continue to put in the chart time and being able to take a look at what's going on from the perspective of, you know, taking trades and watching them go through, talking yourself through the story, all of those fun things as you are navigating, the process of taking trades, what's going well with the trade, what's going wrong with the trade, et cetera. And so that's currently what I'm currently doing now, is just really taking a look at this. The market has fallen pretty significantly throughout the course of the day. And so if we continue to stall out here, I will go ahead and take my profit and be happy with the second, well, not the second win. I've taken two additional wins today, but I want to be able to, give the trade time to breathe and to see if it's going to navigate in such a way that it makes sense. And so, if we get down to roughly, I guess, roughly $800 or so, I'll go ahead and take my profit. I don't want to give too much back, but I did want to give the chart a little bit of room to breathe. With the intention of thinking that we were going to come down here to one of my lower targets, and we may do that. I'll see and continue to monitor this. But right now, I'm just kind of allowing the market to do what it does, auction itself downward, and seeing whether or not, initiative buyers or responsive sellers are going to continue to control the market. And so that's what we're doing. This is what we do. This is what we, taught in class. This is what I trade pretty much every single day. There is another framework and model that I use for days that are more range bound in nature. But I wanted to at least come on and say, hey, continue to believe in the structure, the framework that was shared. You would have gotten multiple trades, of course, throughout the course of this day if you were trading ES or SPY, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for NQ and the triple Qs. So you know what? Continue to fight the good fight, man. This is worth learning, and this is one of the things that, will allow you to have the ability to create some freedom for yourself. The freedom, even if it's to not have to worry about, taking care of uh, registration fees for your kids, or whatever those things are. This will give you a chance to really embark upon something very powerful and unique, that will give you some freedom to do some things that you haven't been able to do in the past. So I stand on it 10 toes down. Look forward to getting your success stories, of course, as always, but wanted to share kind of the inside of one of my trades that is currently active. And, once it just continue to monitor it, allowing it to go through its pullbacks, as we are seeing here, and determining if at the pullback I'm ready to go ahead and pull the plug, or if I'm going to allow the trade to continue to breathe. And so that's what I'm doing at this point. I may let recording continue to move forward while I continue to observe it. But yeah, this is a point of encouragement for you guys. So hopefully you receive it and you know that you have the framework to be able to do something very similar in nature as well. So excited to continue to see your growth. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Continue to fight the good fight. This is something that's worth fighting for, and hopefully you see it the same way as well. So I'll let the recording continue to roll and I'm going to drop down to the 5 minute level. I want to see what's happening here at the lower levels. We saw this candle, we saw a pullback, we saw a sweep of it. Let's see if it's going to now reverse and continue to go down, um, which would be my anticipation. If it doesn't, then once again, I'll be happy with taking a few $100s as a part of another trade. And seeing where we go from there. It is lunch hour, so not as much volume engaged at this point, so it makes it a little bit of a challenge to see the market move. This is typically when people are out to lunch, and so price swings aren't as necessarily as swift as you would hope as they are in the morning. So yeah. We are building up a little bit of a volume node here. Let's see what that looks like. As I pull the volume profile down, yeah. So we're building up a little node here. If we push beyond this, this would invalidate the trade. And it looks like that's where we're trying to retest at this point. Um, and if we push above that, then that invalidates the trade. If we find the responsive sellers holding ground here, then we will see if we continue to push down. And there it is. You might be asking why I continue to hang on this particular trade. I looked to the left and I saw this red candle here that was pretty, decent in size. And typically, when we have the candle before a significant candle and a candle beyond that, and there's a gap in between, the overlap in how orders are handled, um, they come up, they fill those orders, and then they'll continue down in the direction. You might hear some other people refer to it as a fair value gap. For from a volume profile perspective, we call that an inefficiency that needed to be filled. And so that's what's happening at this point. And it looks like we will do that and hopefully we'll continue to push down. So those are typically the times where people get nervous. They exit out of trades. And truth be told, because I'm up on the day, I wanted to be mindful about not giving much profit back. But then I looked immediately to the left and saw this kind of gap in this candle that gave me the confidence at least to hold on and to see what would happen at that point. So we're back down at the lower end of this little node that's being built up right here. And so doing so, we'll see if it'll continue to node up at this point. If so, maybe I go ahead and take some profit. If not, then we may see an additional punch through that level and continue downward. My ultimate targets are down here where I have these dotted lines. Those are low volume nodes on the previous day and the high time frame um, composite profile that I typically draw up on the 4 hour chart. So that's what those levels signify. And so my thoughts are that we'll continue to push down, but my only main concern is that this has dropped pretty significantly through already throughout the course of the day. And there's usually what we refer to as an average trading range, and we've already exceeded that. And so I don't know if we have enough juice to continue to go down on this particular day, and maybe we do, maybe we don't. So we'll let the charts decide what's going to happen, and I'm just going to continue to watch and be mindful of what's happening. It's lunchtime. We're fluttering a little bit. Are we going to be able to get that push down beyond that level? That's the question of the day. It's lunchtime. We've already hit our average trade range kind of limit. Um, Man, here's where the battle ensues, and we'll see. Go ahead and move my take profit down. If he hits that, then we'll call it a day. Give it a little room to see if we get enough momentum to punch down one more time. If not, I'll take my win, close the computer for the day, and call it a day with the profits that I've accrued as a part of my trading session today. Come on, sellers, do your boy a solid. Get ready to punch down. Give me one more punch. Give me one more punch, baby. I actually have a meeting coming up, so I may go ahead and take profits. That way I'm not distracted. I don't like when price continues to stall. I don't like when price stalls. That hasn't served me well in the past. So may move my take profit or my break stop loss down to a little bit lower. Okay, let's see if we get it. Come on, move. Come on, move, baby. Continue to move down. We got a level we need to break down there. What's this level? I need to get beyond that. We got multiple pokes around this area. 69.20. Can we get down to 6,900? I think that's the major question for me to ask. Am I willing to be patient to let this thing play? The next psychological level to the downside is 6,900. Will we be able to hit that today? So it looks like we may want to just auction around this zone for a little bit. We may pierce it a little bit later, but I have some meetings I need to tend to. I have some meetings I need to tend to. And with that being said, we don't play around with multitasking in the middle of a trade. So the responsible thing is to go ahead and take profit. I still am curious if we're going to break down. Take the profit. Well, I guess let's instead of taking a profit, let's just move our break even down. Break even down. I'm going to let the screen record. I'm going to take my meeting and we'll see how this plays out. I put the break even at a level where there's some resistance. And if the floor decides to go ahead and break, then it will break through. If it goes up and pierces the resistance level, then I'll get stopped out. But at the end of the day, let's go ahead and see if we can give this another opportunity to push down. We'll come back and revisit and see how that plays out.